Mayor Raleigh and other prominent Charlestonians backed him during his campaign, but William Koopman's momentum was slowed down by Catherine LaFond on Election Day just 3 weeks ago. She captured 44% of the vote, forcing the race into a runoff. But this past Tuesday, Koopman came back strong to be re-elected commissioner. I had a chance to talk with him for the special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. Well, first of all, congratulations on being re-elected.
Thank you, sure appreciate it. It was a long 8 weeks, very tough last week and a half, but everything worked out fine for us. Sure appreciate it.
And I sent you 2 emails on Tuesday night. The first to ask you if I can do an interview with you the next day on Wednesday.
Right.
And you told me to wait until the results were coming in. And then I think late that night on Tuesday, you told me you're basically beat. So tell me, how are you feeling right now?
Well, when you said beat, that was wiped out. I was
right,
tired.
Of course.
First of all, I want to thank God.
Yes.
Humbled, thrilled, excited. I won an election against a very skilled professional team.
And of course, what I wanted to say is this, you had a long list of supporters, and of course you had Mayor Raleigh. When you got those endorsements from those particular people, did you picture in your mind success?
I knew it was going to be tough while I was incumbent, and I have decades of work here and experience. The people backed her and supported her. They did a wonderful job. They were intense, dedicated, loyal, and they worked hard for her. While I had the background experience, I was the underdog. Strange. It's really strange because she had the political machine with her. I didn't have that. I'm a servant of the people.
Yes, you are.
I'm not really involved in political machines. I know who they are. I have relationships with them. But so it was difficult at first to overcome that.
And as we speak of Catherine, she really was a fresh face in politics, because when I was talking with her on Monday, she basically said that she jumped into politics after being inspired by a movie. But let's go back to Election Day, which was like 3 weeks ago. She actually captured 44% of the vote, basically forcing the race into a runoff.
Right. And
she later told the Charleston City paper that she basically surprised a lot of people. I'm curious, did she surprise you?
No, not at all. Tim Mallett and I, if either of us had not run in that race, I think that Tim would have run, I would have won.
Yes.
And in most cases, if you look at runoff elections, the person who comes in second in the initial time, probably 4 out of 6 times wins the final race.
Okay. And so, as we talk about Catherine right now, what is your message to her?
I'd like to see her for lunch, but I don't want to see her next time in the race.
But more importantly, let's talk about your supporters, because you had a lot of people out there really working for you nonstop. So what's your message for them going forward?
The message that I have is that dedicated, hard-working. We did not have the intellectual elite helping us. I had normal, common people out there working. Catherine, in many ways, had the individuals with fine Italian leather shoes working for her very well.
And you were old school.
Mine were in tennis shoes who had difficulties paying their bills at the end of the month. And they worked very hard for me, and I'm proud of that. I'm so proud of that, because to me that represents so much of the common man. And that really, that's what I am. I'm just a common person doing a job that I enjoy, and all I am is a servant of the people, and that's what I want to do.
And I remember you doing an interview, I believe, with Channel 4 recently, and you basically said that one of your tasks and one of your changes that you brought as commissioner is that you brought a change of culture. I'm wondering, as you head into your new time here as commissioner, what else do you want to change? What else do you want to bring as commissioner?
I don't know if I want to change anything at all. except that we need to constantly seek for continual upgrades and improvement.
Yes.
We want to do everything right the first time, whether that's talking to you on the phone,
Sure.
installing water lines, sewer line,
Oh, yeah.
upgrades to plants. We want to do it right the first time.
And let's revisit memory lane, because I understand that you grew up here in Charleston. So what are your memories of growing up here?
I can remember a young kid in the 60s and 70s,
Right.
and I loved the fish and ski. And in the harbor of Charleston,
Yes.
back in the 60s,
Oh, yeah.
you couldn't fish in there.
Wow.
You couldn't swim in there. You couldn't ski. The reason why is because our wastewater system had 8 discharges into the harbor of Charleston. Raw sewage was being dumped into the
Wow.
harbor of Charleston. We had some of the largest fish kills in the country. When our wastewater treatment plant started in 1970,
Sure.
we have done more over the last, 40 years, 3 years. We've done more to improve the environment in Charleston than any other institution.
Yes.
People don't realize that the municipal water utilities and wastewater utilities, one of our main goals besides drinking water and growth and development and all that, okay, is in the public health business as well as the environment. We want to protect the environment. And now you can fish in the harbor,
Oh,
you can
yes.
ski in the harbor,
Yes.
you can boat in the harbor, and it's wonderful. But 40 years ago, largest fish kills in the country, right here in Charleston.
Wow. And as we talk about the 1960s, you later went off to Charleston Southern University. And I'm wondering, who was William Koopman as a college student?
Now, let's don't go too far back, all right?
Okay.
No, I'm only kidding. I was a young guy who loved politics.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, an attorney. That's really what I wanted to be. Law school, I got into school,
Okay.
and before I went, I said, I want to be a county manager, city manager.
Yeah.
So I went to Florida, got a master's,
Yes.
and came back to Charleston and worked for the county.
Right.
I was assistant county manager. I was acting manager almost, I think it was 2 times.
Wow.
And then 85,
Right.
I had an opportunity to come here. I found a home here. I found a workforce that wanted to work, that wanted to succeed. They wanted a culture change.
Yes.
They wanted to be recognized.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they wanted the tools and resources to do their job.
Yes.
And we have a workforce here that is unique, is dedicated, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to come back. Not only for them though, but to give back. We've got a board here, a history of the board here, of people on the board who want to give back,
To the community.
not take from the community.
Sure.
And that's what it's all about.
And let me back it up a little bit, because I understand that you actually went to Harvard's Kennedy School of Government.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about your time there.
Loved it. I went for about 8 weeks. It was a course in summertime in '83, and it was one of the best times that I have had. There were 100 people in the United States, across the United States,
Right.
and it was a tremendous time.
And later on, you mentioned this too, but you were working for Charleston County, that is. And I'm wondering, how did you juggle your work and education? Because you were in school at the time too.
I found out that I did better in school when I had work,
Okay.
or I was involved in sports. Like any college kid, you
Yes.
know, it's discipline. In
Yes.
periods, I wasn't disciplined, okay? But when I worked or when I was involved in sports, I had to study in free time.
Yes. And of course, you spent 30 years here at CPW, and you retired in 2005 as general manager. I'm wondering, after so long, how difficult was it to actually retire?
Retirement to me has been not what I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
I miss the work. I miss the challenges. I miss the people. And when I say people, people who are involved here, who work here, and customers. I miss the interaction of people.
Oh, yes.
I want to socialize, not from the standpoint of partying, I don't mean that,
Right,
but
right.
I want contact with people.
Yes, indeed. And you know, from what I read too, I mean, even with Charleston County and to here, you really rose through the ranks. I know this is strange, but what was your secret to rising, through the ranks?
There's a commandment that you want to treat others as yourself.
Yes.
And I may not be the smartest guy around, okay?
Okay.
Grades, I made in school good grades, but I respect everyone, and I treat everyone like I want to be treated.
Sure.
And you know, one of the in vogue things right now is diversity.
Sure.
I can't stand that word.
Wow.
Okay? When I say that, what I mean by that,
Okay.
is that I believe we're not diverse. God made us all image.
That's true.
And because of that, how can we be diverse?
Diverse, yes.
So when I hear diverse, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Because we aren't diverse.
Yes, indeed. And let's talk about Howard Berkey, who passed away in 2005. I'm sure you knew him very well. And, you actually took over his job as commissioner in 2006. I'm wondering, how difficult was it to fill his shoes?
I didn't. Howard Berkey was a tremendous man, a man for all seasons. He knew everything about everything, just a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
There is no way I could fill his shoes. But I tried the best I can to bring to the table what I have.
Yeah.
And enjoyed it very much.
You got emotional there. Yeah.
Thank you.
I know you love people, but let's talk about family for a moment and talk about your wife, Carol.
Sure.
For those who don't know her, describe her.
Carol is the love of my life. She was my first date in high school.
Really?
And our first date was a Valentine's event, and she was queen, and I was king. And that's how we started off.
Wow.
And
when did you know that she was going to be the one for you?
when I first saw her in church when I was about 13 years old.
Wow. Wow. And together you guys have 3 kids and 1 grandchild from what I read.
Actually, we have 2.
Okay.
And I've got a 3rd one on the way. Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes.
They're all girls.
Really?
Right.
Yes. So, what is it like to be around them?
Love them to pieces.
Yes.
There's nothing better than that. I'm a family person. I don't go out a lot at night. I don't socialize a lot.
Right.
And so my world is here, my church, and my family.
And speaking of church, I read that you have been a deacon at First Baptist for 42 years.
Yes.
42 years.
Yes.
When you think about First Baptist Church, I'm wondering what comes to mind.
Faith.
Yes. Yes. Yes, indeed. Hey, let me ask you this. You said this quote, "It's not about self, but about service." So after 30-something years of experience in public service, tell me this, why is public service so important to you?
It's service. It's service. You know, and when someone hears that, a servant, they may think of someone not being strong or aggressive.
Right.
But let me put it in the context of the civil rights movement. Okay? I want to help people to get on the bus. I want to help them to get off the bus. But I don't have to sit in the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know, you also said this too. I care about people. That's my only goal in life. So I'm wondering, what is the next chapter for you?
Keep on trucking on.
Yes. William Koopman, was so great talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I appreciate
you.
it.
Anytime.
Sure thing.